All right. Now, if we're done here, we'll go to the money. Now, the money is the bone of contention, isn't it? Either there's a lot of it or there's little of it. And if you're in partnership with other people, when there's nothing, you all blame each other. When there's a lot of it, somebody wants more than the other. Isn't it fascinating? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest thing about it here is this thing called profit. You have to be able to know what is your profit. A lot of people don't know. And each customer is different. Your customers, all these customers, don't give you the same profit, by the way. You understand? So if you cannot, because the cost of sale here and the cost of sale here is not the same. Cost to income ratio. This is very important. How much does it cost you to make $1, $2, $10, $100? How much? If you go back to your ABC and client, you've got to say, how much does it cost me per client? If you cannot do this, then I'm afraid things are going to fall apart because you're going to lose a lot of your cost unnecessarily. You're going to say, oh, hey, we made a turnover at 10 million, but your profit is minus 2 million. Yes, it happens. A lot of businesses do this. And if you cannot go and borrow money and use other people's money, you're in trouble because it's your money. Okay? Your assets. Now, one of the things that you guys are not good at is asset registering. How to register your assets. How to use depreciation to work on your favor. How to make sure that your asset can give you beautiful tax breaks. You understand? But the key thing is you've got to calculate your profitability per client. You might have a client that says he's going to do 20 things for me, but at the end of the day, think, I'm not going to make money here. And if you're not going to make money, you're going to justify why you're going to do it if it's not going to make you money. That's what I'm saying. You're going to learn to say no. Okay? Because you'll get excited and the company says, yes, we've got 150 people who are going to a conference. The conference is go vendor. You say, yeah, 150 people. But can you calculate the time that it takes from here to go to vendor, to set up, to do the massages, to pack up, and to come back? You might find your profit is almost delaying. You understand what I'm trying? So you've got to know. And these guys, every there's a good friend of mine who says, facts and figures is the bloodline of your business. Facts and figures. Know your facts and your figures all the time. If you don't know these things, you're in trouble. And know them, I always say 10 years or 100 years plus and come back here and say, okay, in 5 years we'll run them this way, in 10 years we'll run them, 15, in 20 years we'll run them this way.
Interestingly enough, I think about a day or two ago, I was really sitting with that CIR's problem in my business, where the cost
just keeps ballooning.
Yeah, just ballooning, and I just don't see what is happening.
Yeah, because you allow things. Remember your processes, your price of non-conformance, that's where your money gets lost. You understand? Many years ago, we used to be 5 of us running 13 companies. One of them was an event company. Our strategy was we were not interested in doing an event which is less than 2 million. We used to make big events, launch C-Class, Mercedes-Benz, do these kind of things. But we always ran at a negative. And we then learned that the guy was the head of creative, was not a business guy. When he wanted to build a balloon that explodes, he just get people, they build a balloon, the balloon explodes. He doesn't calculate the cost of time and whatever, and the event becomes super amazing. The client says, you guys are the best, and they give us a tap on the shoulder, we drink expensive whiskey and champagne, we say, we're amazing. Comes here and we say, show the numbers, there are no numbers. The business used to take our money like you couldn't believe it. And then eventually I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. Yes, I eventually said, no events, no, I'm not doing this. And customers used to have Mercedes-Benz, used to have cheddar cheese, used to have big, the sweets, big, what is it called, this sweet company? The Beacon, we used to have Tropica, we used to have all these big lines. And one day I just said, no, I'm not doing this. And I walked away, I said to the clients, I love you very much, I wish you all the best, go out and get an RFP, get other companies to come and do this work for you, I'm out of here. No, because it was a lot of work, but when it happens, it's so much fun, you feel good, people tap in the shoulder, you feel like a superstar, but there's no money. You've got to calculate your profitability, and profitability begins from your processes. If your processes are not clear, money is going to get into little holes and disappear. Do you guys understand me? You've got to know what makes your business profitable and not profitable. And by the way, you are not the business. Separate yourself from the business. You are not the business. Don't take your money at your business and go to a bash and go to MTN, multi-choice, food and drink, and spend for your friends, and go to a Kaizer Chief match and pay. And then at the end of the day, you can't pay your taxes, you can't pay yourself, you don't have a salary, blah, 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 you can't go on holiday. It's because you don't run a proper business.
Because Mr. Billy, so it also comes to the issue of working out the period it takes for a customer from when you speak to them to when they actually pay.
Yes, that's a process, it's a cycle. You've got to work out your cycles. But it's a process. Everything is process. If you don't have clear processes, you know this client is going to pay you in 30 days. You know this one's going to pay you immediately. You know this one's going to pay you in 120 days. All those things are variables that you must work into your business. All right, now let's go back to where we started so that we can understand the context of what we spoke about. Now, do you understand how all of this works? Right people, right processes. You've got to redefine your processes, make sure they deliver what you need to deliver. Your clients, you've got to categorize them. Who are they? How do I get to them? How do I speak to them? How much am I making from them? What percentage of my sales is it? Then money. The most important thing is you've got to know, are you profitable or not? What is your cost-to-income ratio? How much does it cost you to make the money? If you don't have that, then you're in business. Then comes the big one, social impact. If your business does not change people's lives, it doesn't matter what you do, then it's not worth having. Okay. If your business does not change people's lives, it's not worth having as a business. That's why I'm saying we want to help people create wealth, but wealth that will be impactful. Not wealth that people will use to brag and look down upon other people. As a country, both a country and a continent, we need to get ourselves up. And the only way to do it is through entrepreneurs. And when entrepreneurs really build successful and powerful business, they can be able to build the right kind of schools, they can be able to create the right kind of programs, they can be able to support the right kind of student to study the right kind of subjects that will impact the continent positively. Does it make sense? For me, social impact is very, very important. I mean, this session that we're having here, naturally it costs money, people pay for it. It's not, you're not paying because it's my social contribution. Does it make sense? Because I want to see this country become a different country. Hence, I'm not talking about it, I'm doing it. So for me, this is very important. If you can do this one, this thing's easy, then this will happen. You'll build stuff, you'll take kids to school. This is what's important for me. We've got to impact our society, very impactful. All right. Now I'm going to call my good friend here. He's going to give a little synopsis of who he is, what he has done. He's going to share a bit about the book that he's written. And then he's going to pull out that piece of paper. I'm going to bring it up where you guys asked us specific questions. And we're going to go in through an answering session. Does it make sense? Please, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Derek Luwani, my good friend. Yours. Cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Siligali, for, by the way, Dr. Siligali, yes. It does deserve that because it's for us to honor the people, right? If we say, because it's about nomination, right? To say who can get honorary, all this. So for him, I believe that we can still do that, right? I'm used to small audience, so I'm happy with it. Nice. But it's a big audience, I'm happy. Because we're here to interact, right, and to talk and all that. So my name is Derek Zavi. That's my Twitter space, because I'm always there. I was able to build audience of around 170,000, from Twitter. I have to mention this because it started with sharing the content, not my business. I never spoke about my business. For almost, it took me a year not talking about my business. But guess what? Every time there are people who come inbox and say, how do I get hold of you? I said, why do you want to get hold of me? No, you said something that touched me. So that showed me the importance of how do we build the content, right? I'm standing here today with a book written, it's Business Tips to My Daughter. I love this book so much. I never thought that I would hold a book in my hand and walk around with it and all that. But this book, I wrote it from my daily contribution and conversation with people. And most of the content here were created from the social media platform. So I was able to create that, and then I would write from on my website and then put it there on the website. My main job is enterprise development. That's what I deal with. right? I deal with small business, big business, corporate and all that. But in the space of small business, what I've discovered is that there are a lot of challenges every day. But now the question is, how do we address those challenges? And the thing is, these challenges are very common, you know. All the questions that we have here today is the questions that everybody has out there. It's the questions that anybody can ask anytime. And here is the thing, we keep on answering same questions. And sometimes we don't even answer them differently, same way. The thing is, do we act on what we are looking for? And that put me a pressure to say, how do we now deal with CAPA? CAPA is just corrective measure or corrective action, and also the preventive action. So we can deal with corrective questions, but if we don't address the preventive part of things, we may be sitting here with the same problem over and over and over again. Many of us, we've been online, I don't know for how many times, we've been learning how to do marketing, we've been learning all these things. We know all these jargons, we know all these phrases, you know, these words, that acronyms and all that. But what is important is, when we go home, do we show the profit from what we are doing every day? And that is the main thing that we have to ask ourselves to say, is there a profit that I can show from what I'm doing? But now, for us to show profit, it starts with personal branding. To say, me as a brand, how do I project myself to people? How do I present myself to people? How do I sell myself first? Before I can buy from you, I will have to buy you first, although I may not pay for you. I may not pay the money, but I need to buy you. I need to own you first. I need to feel, wow, I like this hairstyle. Whoa, I like that jacket. Wow, it's so beautiful, you know. Once that comes to mind, it's easy to step up to you and say, how are you? You know, I like what you're wearing. What do you do? You know, so I start conversations based on that. Unfortunately, few came to me today. I don't know whether it's because of, maybe I'm so reserved. Yes, I know I am sometimes. But thanks to fortunately came to me. And the space that we spoke, and my brother, the space that we spoke, I think we spoke for almost 3 minutes, right? In 3 minutes, we kind of came to a solution to whatever problems that would have been there in terms of the business and going forward. In 3 minutes, we made an appointment to meet.
Quick stuff, eh?
And guess what? He came to me and he greeted me, you know, and then from there we started the conversation. So what I'm trying to say is that let us look at creating a brand for yourself. I need to clarify this, ladies and gentlemen. Being a brand is not about how you wear, how you dress. Forget about that. It's about how you project yourself, you see. Bantu, you know that wearing like that, there is a market that can be attracted to you. It's depending on the content that you're selling. Because if you are dressed related to the content that you're selling, you as an individual, that will sell for you. Because when I see you and you say to me, listen, I'm in the music industry, I produce all the Kwaito artists and all that, I'll relate to you. Just like that. You come to me and say, I'm in the beauty, you know, I'm in the spa and all that. I'll relate to you immediately. You come to me and say, I'm in the construction. I won't wonder why you're wearing techies. Because I know anytime, you know, it's tea time. So those are things that are very real. Mm-hmm. So we need to project the business that you are in by how you appear, the brand that you are. How do you appear? How do you do things and all that? The books, ladies and gentlemen, is not available at the bookshops. Deliberately. Deliberately so. Reason being that I realized that if I take my shop, my books to, I'll give you an example, to Exclusive. Exclusive on Twitter has got 15,000 followers. I'm sitting with 170,000 followers. That's the market I need to sell my book. As long as I can have a plan on how I need to. One thing which is very key is that when you build your social media platform, do it consciously. Don't let it be happening accidentally. When somebody unfollows you, you need to know, why did this person unfollow me? Do they like or they don't like what I've said or something like that? So that way you'll find that even your growth, because you need to create to make it grow, because that is your platform, that's your market. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, billboards no longer sell. And you know, if there is a place where your pamphlet will not be tiered, you will not see somebody throw it in a bin, it's in a social media space. Because whatever you put there, you are the only one who can delete it. Whatever you post, you are the only one that can press delete and say, I don't like this advert anymore. But it's going to stay there. Whether your followers like it or not, it's going to stay there. So let us try to kind of put ourselves there. And I know there are some jobs that you may think, this one doesn't need a social media. If Coca-Cola is now using social media, and now they're running away from the platform, the media, the radio and all that, who are we to say no, we don't need it?